today, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a Facebook ad for an open house. So this is great to generate dozens of leads before your open house even starts. And typically what you want to do is start running this ad probably 4 to 7 days before the open house starts. All right, so this is kind of a look at what the ad says. Open house this Friday at 6 p.m. or whenever it is, the address of the open house. Get the video walkthrough plus e-brochure here. And like the other examples, this is using a landing page, but what we're going to do is tweak and use a Facebook lead format because that's what we've seen it work best. And then we usually have like a paragraph talking about the hot features that people would be interested in, and then the address again, and then once again the call to action. So I'm going to have the copy and paste ad template right below this video. You guys can go through and get that. Now, before we go in and set this up, once again, we're just going to want to make sure that we have your ad account connected. And so we'll just click on settings over here. And then from here, we'll just go to integrations and Facebook. You want to make sure this is connected and that your ad account is selected. Okay, now more than likely, we've already done that because we've done that in the previous videos, but you just want to make sure that that is all set up and done. Now, let's jump over into the Facebook Ads Manager, okay? And so from here, we're going to create a new campaign. So we're just going to click on Create, and we're going to choose Lead Generation, just like the other times before, and we're going to click Continue. So then we're going to give this campaign a name. So we're just going to say Open House 30-Day Challenge Demo. And in the special ad category, we're going to select housing because it's a real estate ad. We're going to leave everything else just as is. And once again, if you need to go through, pause this video, go take action on your computer. I highly recommend doing that so you can go through and just get everything done as I'm doing it alongside of you. Now we're going to click on Next. We're going to give the ad set a name. I'm just going to leave it as is. And the lead method, leave as is. The Facebook business page, I've got it already selected, so you want to select yours. If you have not accepted the terms of service, go through and accept those. As far as the budget goes, just like in the other videos, we want to start out with a minimum $10 per day budget. If you have a larger budget, you can go up from there. And then the start date, I'm just going to have this start immediately. Right, now coming down here, we'll just skip all this and we'll go to locations. And once again, when I say skip all of this, if I say skip it, it means that by default, you can just leave it as is. You don't need to touch anything. It's already good to go. Okay, so I'm only showing you the exact things that you need to go through and make edits to. So on locations, we're going to go through and click on this. We're going to select people living in this location. Because if they're recently in the location, you don't want to get travelers or people there for work or vacation or whatever. So we're just going to do people living in. And then United States, we want to exit out of that because you only want to put in your specific city. So let's say you are in, we'll say Nashville for this example. Nashville, Tennessee. Let's see right there, Nashville, Tennessee. All right, so we've got the 15-mile radius. The age, gender, everything is left as is. Automatic placements is recommended, so that'll show on both Facebook as well as Instagram. And so now, once again, I'll hit this. We've covered this in other videos where it says ad may get 0 leads. That's just kind of there by default with Facebook bots. Just throw that up there. More than likely, at $10 per day in most cities, you should be fine. So don't worry about that. All right. So now we're going to click on Next. And this is where we're going to create the ad of what people are actually going to see. All right. So we've got our Facebook business page chosen. We can select our Instagram account or connect it right here. If you do not have an Instagram account, that is totally fine. It's just going to use your Facebook business page name. And that's typically what I do, although I do have an Instagram account, but I don't really worry about it. Then for the media, we're going to remove this and we're going to add an image of the home, the front of the home that you're trying to go through and market. All right. So if we come back here and look at this, we've got kind of like the front home right there. So now I'm just going to add media, add an image. You can then upload something from your desktop, or for this example, I'm just going to choose one that's already uploaded. So select that right there. Just click done. So we've already got this one uploaded right here. And then as far as the primary text goes, this is what is over here. So I'm just going to copy and paste this, throw it into the primary text. I'm going to space it out a little bit so that we have this looking nice. And then we'll just want to make some edits, okay? So open house this Friday at 6 p.m. So put in whatever time and date that your open house is, all right? And put the address of the house so people know where to actually go. And then get the video walkthrough plus e-brochure here. And this is going to a landing page, so we're not doing that anymore. And say click below. Click below to get the video walkthrough plus e-brochure. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight that, and I like to do 2 call to actions, one at the bottom. You'll then have some features kind of like just like on the listing lead one, where you're going to have like kind of the things that people are going to be interested in most. So 4-bedroom, 3-bath, built-in barbecue, large game room for the kids, Sub-Zero refrigerator, all the cool stuff, right? And so then we'll just throw in the address once again so they can be reminded of that. And then for this, we'll just say open house this Friday or whatever day in Nashville or whatever community. Obviously, Nashville is kind of a big city, so you probably want to go get more specific with wherever you're located, right? And so the description, as in previous videos, like it usually does not even show the description, so this is optional. I just leave it as is. Call to action, learn more is what's always worked best for us. So we're just going to click on learn more. And then we're going to create a form right here. So we're just going to go through and click on create form. And this is what is going to show up on Facebook. That's going to grab the person's contact information. So their name, phone number, and email address. And the great thing about Facebook is they automatically populate that form with the information they have on file of that person. So the chance of you getting bogus information of someone just putting johndoe@gmail.com and 555-1234 for the phone number goes down significantly with lead forms. So we're going to click on create form, click on continue. Going to do open house 30-day challenge. And you really want to give this a form name right out the gate because it's extremely difficult to go change the name after the fact. So this is just for you. This is your eyes only, but it's just good to go through and know which form you're going to be selecting and using later on. So now we're just going to go to the intro. And so we would just go through and upload an image, the same image that we use on the actual ad, because then we just create that consistency there. And that's the ultimate thing we want, consistency. So then the headline, once again, open house in Nashville this Friday at 6 p.m. Okay, so we want to just like restate the same things over and over again. So we just have the consistency with our messaging. And so right here, we would go through and just say like, you know, built in barbecue. So probably very similar things to what we said in that paragraph prior, all right? Now, you actually want to take a second to go through and write this out instead of just going through and just like throwing in random stuff, because this is what people are actually going to see and what people are going to determine whether they want to opt in or not. So if you just kind of go through and just don't take a lot of time on this, it doesn't need to take a lot of time. It's going to be 2 minutes. But if you don't put in great information here, then the chance of you getting great leads goes down dramatically, all right? So just for this example, though, I'm just going to go like that. And then for the questions, we want to do full name, and I like to drag this to the top just out of preference. And then we got the email, and then add category, do the phone number, all right? And then up here, enter your best contact info below. Okay, something like that. And then for the privacy, we'll just type in privacy policy and then add a link to your privacy policy on your website. If you do not have a link on your website to a privacy policy page, just throw in your website URL or even your Facebook business page URL works as well. Okay, but ideally you want to have your face or your privacy policy URL from your website. And then, so actually for this one, I'm just going to say Google. Let's say that's our website. So we're just going to throw this in just for the example. And then coming down here on completion, we're going to say, thanks, you're all set. You can visit our website below. I usually don't like to give them the option of like exiting because that's kind of self-explanatory, right? So do view website, or you could say download something, call our business, whatever it is right here. So we're just going to do view website and then add a link to your website. Okay. So now if we hit publish, this creates this right here. And so we selected that, and then we would just hit publish right there. And then it would go through Facebook's review process. And then once it's all approved by Facebook, it will start running automatically, and then it will run until you go through and shut off or cancel the ad. Okay, now here's the deal. Just like I said in previous videos, you want this ad to run for a minimum of 4 to 5 days before you shut it off. And the thing is, with an open house lead campaign, is you want to probably shut it off once the campaign, or once the open house is over, right? So if you even wanted to go through and set a start and end date, come over here. You could say an end date. Let's say we want to start end it. It's on Friday at 6 p.m. Well, if we're going to be there from like 6 to 8, we probably want people still coming in, so we're going to maybe end it at like 7:30 p.m. And then you can have it automatically stop at that time, right? So that's probably something that you want to go through and do. So then you just go through and hit next, and then publish right there, and then it'll automatically shut off. You don't even have to think or worry about it. Okay. Now the last step that you want to do is, because we created this new lead form right here, you want all of your leads flowing into the chat database so you can have the automated follow-up. You can get notified on your mobile app and follow up with all these leads. So we want to come over here to chat, click on settings, okay? And then we'll go over here to Facebook forms field mapping, and the new Facebook form will show up right here. And then for example, let's say it's the Denver seller leads. Obviously that was a demo one. I didn't go through and create the whole campaign. You just click on map fields. Hit pull in the first name, email, phone number, just like we did earlier, and click on save. And then now all those new leads that are coming in through that ad will automatically flow into this contact section on your desktop or laptop, as well as on the contact section on your mobile app. You'll be able to get notified, follow up with all these contacts and leads immediately, which we'll talk about in the next video. So anyway, make sure you go through and do that. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to our support team so we can help you out. And with that said, I will see you in the next video.